Hey, what's up, everyone? I figured, in light of the Black Widow movie coming out, I figured one of the more important Marvel Cinematic movies uh, that I figured would be interesting to discuss that ties into it is Captain America Civil War. And of course, I can't believe it's been 5 years since this particular entry came out. And what was I gonna say? It takes place after the events of Age of, Ultron, in which the Avengers, team, consisting of Steve and, Natasha and, Vision and, Wanda and Sam Wilson, end up getting into a particular, incident and because of what happened in Sokovia in the events of Age of Ultron, General Thaddeus Ross ends up creating the Sokovia Accords, which in a sense its its purpose is to keep the Avengers, aligned and preventing them from creating another international incident like what happened in New York in the first Avengers movie, and of course Sokovia in the Avengers Age of Ultron, and of course, Tony's, Stark is kind of like for the Accords, and then Steve, of course, is the opposition and is against the Sokovia Accords because he feels like it's like a form of oppression and and a form of control from the government, which but in Tony's case he kind of feels like maybe the Avengers kind of need a little oversight to kind of help keep them in line with, but the Accords end up putting uh Tony and Steve Rogers at odds, and and then creating like a team, like who's for the Accords and against it. And of course, this entry also introduces T'Challa, played by the late Chadwick Boseman, who's has a who ends up joining the Avengers team because of a personal tragedy, and of course, it also introduces the MCU version of Peter Parker, and of course, what makes the Avengers, I'm sorry, Captain America: Civil War an interesting entry that it kind of forever changes the dynamics of the Avengers characters and the MCU in itself. So it's a really good entry and quite enjoyable. And of course, Bucky Barnes you know also plays an integral part in something that happens to Tony in the past. So that's pretty much what I have to say about Captain America Civil War. So anyone that's seen it and be interested to hear what any feedback people have to say about it 5 years later. Okay, everyone, thanks.